Hello, I'm Virginia Kamhi, and I'm a pastel artist. Today I'd like to share with you one of my recent paintings. This is Churning Sea. For this painting, my goal was to capture that feeling of water moving over the rocks and the currents of the ocean. So I went down Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu. I must have taken 40 to 50 photos, and when I got home with all of those photos, I looked through them and I found the perfect one that I felt captured the scene I wanted to create. So when I create this kind of painting, I always use a UArt sanded panel. The reason is it will take a lot of abuse and will accept the underpainting technique that I plan to use. That is what I always use when I paint rocks underwater. You see, if you try to paint a rock with pastels and then go over it with a lighter color pastel, you're going to get a muddy mess. So I have to use an alcohol wash to make this work. Now, for this painting, I painted in everything, basically a whole painting, and then took a brush and went in with alcohol and brushed carefully over, especially the rocks. I didn't want them to run into the water. I wanted to set them firmly in the ocean floor. So once I'd done that with the alcohol, then I was ready to paint. Now I use a 91% isopropyl alcohol. At this point, the painting is not considered to be a pastel painting anymore because the pigments in the pastel have been dissolved by a liquid. It has now become a watercolor. That's not my goal. My goal is to create a pastel painting. So now I have to do the whole painting over again. I go back in once it's dry with soft pastels. And you will notice there's a little bit of the rock showing beneath these areas. That's because I set those rocks into the ocean floor with my pastel alcohol underpainting. Now I can go over there and glaze with a lighter color of pastel, and those rocks are not going to go anywhere. So that's why I use that alcohol underpainting technique. Then once I painted everything in, I painted in my rocks and I painted in the ocean, I'm ready to paint my foam patterns. That's the last thing I do. The foam patterns, they look like they're white, but they're not. I never use white in my foam patterns. I always use a pale yellow, a pale blue, a pale pink, a pale green, a pale lavender, a pale blue. I never use white. I like to use a combination of warms and cools next to each other because I feel they create a vibrancy and a sense of excitement in my painting. So that's what I did. Here's my painting, Churning Sea. Thank you.